Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin and Cardano. We're going to take a look at both charts briefly. We are still moving sideways here. The Bitcoin chart doesn't get more interesting, unfortunately not at the moment. But yeah, let's actually start with Bitcoin. So we are still in this correction. I still expect the price to go into this target area, 20 to 29k. That is all based on my Elliott Wave analysis and my expectation that we have here something that is called an expanded flat, where you've got your A wave, your B wave, which is overshooting the previous wave 1 in this case, yeah. So this year was a wave 1 to new all-time highs back in April 21. Then we had our first corrective wave A, corrective wave B, that did overshoot the previous wave 1. This often happens in very bullish markets, okay? And that is because, you know, the wave B in this case was very bullish. Everybody did expect new all-time highs towards the end of the year, but it was just a corrective wave, and therefore it didn't make it. It didn't make it to the 100k or whatever that everybody expected. I remember when we talked about this run to the upside here back in September. Yeah, that was even before I really talked about my price target down here. I did mention that what you saw here between wave A and wave B, I just didn't like the structure. It didn't look like a bullish structure, how a 5-wave move or, you know, any impulse, anything bullish would look like. And all of this, and if I went to the smaller time frame, you would see it in more detail. I did explain it all back then, but you had here 99% retracements, a lot of truncations, nothing really too convincing. And some of you who've been with me for longer probably remember that. But, and again, that is why I always refer to the structure. The structure of the chart is so important, you know. It's not just, you know, using here some waves or anything. No, it is understanding the price structure as well. It needs to support new all-time highs. And at the moment, what we see here is also everything looking very corrective. Everything looking very corrective. And I did talk about my alternative scenario where we break above 46.5k, then can unlock much higher prices. But that this would also only be short term, because everything that comes from down here doesn't really look that bullish. Yeah, it is not really anything that would support new all-time highs from my point of view. This is not how in a wave 2, in which we currently are, in a larger wave 2, Bitcoin would do a low typically. It doesn't look convincing. So therefore, where are we now? We are having here, we're forming here this sort of head and shoulders potentially. Yeah, we talked about that. And there's a bit of back and forth. It's a bit boring to watch at the moment, the charts, you know. We talked about this pattern here, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pattern to the downside, the immediate move down. And then gave you that target area for the wave 4. Now that was reached as well perfectly. I told you until we see a breakout to any direction here, we can't really, we don't know where it's going, right? I still, of course, expect the price to go down in line with primary expectations. But until we have a breakout here, you can't really do any judgment, right? And yesterday we saw the first good sign by the bears that would bring the price towards the primary expected you know, price area down there between 20 and 29k. But what we saw here as well, this morning we talked about this triangle pattern, and that we could see a bit of a move in the next few hours. And there you go, you've had your move from just below 38k all the way up to, yeah, 38.6, 38.7. And that is what would be expected, because typically what you do here is not necessarily where it goes, but the strength of the move. Because what you typically do here, again, triangle, you take the height of that triangle, you know, just crudely here, and you add it to the breakout point, and that would have typically taken you here to the 38.6, 38.7 level. Showed you as well earlier today that all of this could still take a long time to play out, this wave 4. A wave 4 is typically very boring, takes a lot of time. I showed you that this looks very similar to what we did back here. That was after the 33k low. This was also a wave 3 down here, and we had the wave 4 up here. So yeah, remember that you had here a bit like a V shape, then you came down, moved up, fell down, moved up again, fell down, moved up. So a lot of sideways movement. And if you compare how that looks now, it looks very similar actually. Also your V shape here, and then we had sideways movement, yeah, as we had here as well, pretty much a little bit upside that was, but also then you had a drop and then you recovered from that. And that is what could happen now. It could just be a very long, I just want to prepare you for a bit of a boring time again. But that again, that supports me in my view that we might be in this wave 4, because a wave 4 typically is just boring. It's just boring to watch. It can take a long time. We've seen that in every wave 4 that Bitcoin did on this move down here. And again, as long as we are not breaking above 41.5K in the first instance, which would invalidate this smaller degree wave 4 here, I primarily expect the price to come down in the next wave 5 towards my target area. Of course, nothing moves in straight lines. So of course also the next wave 5 will have subwaves, yeah. But it's already, we started in a good direction. What we could be doing now, you know, we started here yesterday, that was this sell-off here, nothing too major, but what we do now might be just a bit of a recovery, consolidation, and then drop down again. Yeah, because on the 1 hour chart, with that drop that Bitcoin did, we got quite low on the RSI. Not oversold yet, not oversold, but I think it is trying to recover that now. It's only the 1 hour chart. Yeah, so however, we are back in the target area now as well. We're back in this wave 4 target area in this range. So yeah, from here it has now space again in the first instance to 39.6K. So unfortunately it is moving up and down. I can't give you a clear direction now at the moment. My primary expectation, that is the clear message, it remains the clear message, that we are coming down from here in a next step in a wave 5 down. How long that takes, nobody will be able to tell you. That is the expectation still. We're looking at an expanded flat here still, which means that this target area should play out. But hey, we just need to wait until the market is deciding it. Unfortunately, also indicators in a period of sideways movement like this, because often these indicators are using trends, you know, and momentum. But if the momentum is just doing sideways movement, you can hardly use them really. We use price action then, and yeah, unfortunately you can't really say any more at the moment. You know, we had, even if I put the EMA ribbon on here, and best to do that on the 4 hour chart, we can see that the price is, with this move down, it did break below the EMA ribbon. Yeah, it was here slightly above it, did break below the EMA ribbon on the 4 hour chart. And it's looking like it's currently trying to get above it again, but it might struggle with that, and that could then push the price further down. As I said, primary expectation is the price is coming down from here, but it also has a bit more space to the upside here. And even if it goes all the way up to 41.5K, that would not invalidate all of this, what I showed you here at all. It would not invalidate the pattern. So we just need to wait until Bitcoin is breaking out of this range here to the upside 41.5K, or just continues to move further down as I primarily expect. So still in a correction, no confirmed uptrend yet. And also here I think we are still in the confirmed downtrend overall. But within this downtrend, unfortunately, there are ups and downs, and we are currently in a wave 4. And my next expectation is that the price is coming down further, you know, because we are waiting for this target area to be reached, which would complete the pattern that we've been talking about since the end of November. And that would be amazing. And yeah, let's take a look at ADA. ADA moving sideways only, so can't really mention much more. The ADA chart here still in its descending wedge, waiting for a breakout here really as well. We talked about it could retest here the resistance, but there is not a lot of volume at the moment. We saw some activity as it broke below roughly around 80 cents, right? We had a lot of buyers step in here. That was when it touched 75 cents. But yeah, overall what we see here in the charts, also not really any upside momentum. We want to wait. We want to get to the price area here where the price will have a good chance to turn around. And this is sitting between 30 and 55 cents, between the 88.7% FIB level and the 78.6% FIB level. One thing that is noteworthy here on the chart is on the daily, that potential upcoming bullish crossover on the MACD. Yeah, that is still a few days away, but keep an eye on that. And then also what I just want to show you is here a couple of indicators not based on the Elliott Wave method really, but we've got the logarithmic growth curve, which I might have mentioned before, but you can see historically where the price has moved between these bands, yeah, and we are currently obviously in this lower band here, and I really just want to show you here this lower support level, and that is pretty much in line with my expectation for Bitcoin. You know, I've given you my target area between 20 and 29k, and this lower band here, or the lower support line, at the moment that is just below 29k, so that would also be in perfect alignment with my expectation for Bitcoin. And if I just go to it again, you can actually see that the Bitcoin price never dropped below it. There was only a very, very brief moment here. That was March 2020, where it did drop below it, and that could happen again. You know, that's why I have extended my target area to 20k as well. There could always be a little bit of a wick to the downside, where, you know, for whatever's happening in the world, there could be a catalyst that just pushes the price down very fast. So I thought that would be something interesting to show you. And also maybe we finish it off here with a fear and greed index, which today is showing extreme fear again, 20. So I think that has gone down again. But again, there is still further downside potential. We had here recently a level of 9. I think 9 was March 2020. So but even 9, I think, was not the lowest level we ever had. I think I saw a 5 or 6 at some point, and here there was an 8 in February 2018. So yeah, extreme fear just means people are extremely fearful. That is typically, historically, this has always been a good time to buy. And yeah, just below 40k, I have been starting to buy Bitcoin again. So as you might be aware, and the channel members certainly are aware as well. So for me, these are already especially long-term attractive prices, but primarily I do expect another correction. I'll keep you updated. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please smash the like button and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.